Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how you can create a fog particle system in Unity using Visual Effects Graph. So if you don't have it already, go up to Window, go to Package Manager and search Visual Effect Graph, install that, and once you have it, right click in your project, go to Create, go to Visual Effects and select Visual Effect Graph. We're going to select the simple loop as our default template. I'm going to call this Fog, and I'll just drag that into my scene. Let's press F to zoom in and we have this little yellow and blue spout thing going on here. Let's double click to open that up. I'm going to drag that over here. I'm going to make it fully vertical because I want the full length of this node tree right here, or at least as much as we can get. I'm going to go down to the bottom where it says output particle. And in the video description, you'll find a link to a fog particle. Download that, and once you have it, drag it into your project. And I'm going to select it. In the inspector, I'm going to select alpha as transparency and hit apply. Then in my VFX graph, I'm going to drag that into the main texture of this output particle here. And let's zoom in a bit more on the scene. And yeah, you can see that fog is there. It's just kind of weird because it's not the right color, obviously, and it's too small. So let's fix that. In the output particle, I'm going to hit space, search set size. Let's drag this up above where it says multiply size. And then I'm going to move a bit over to the left here. Let's shrink this window. On the left side here, I'm going to select properties. I'm going to hit plus, and I'm going to create a float. Let's call this particle base size. Open that up. Let's set it to 1. Then click and drag it into your VFX graph. Select the output socket and then attach it to the set size we just created. So you can see that's already quite a bit bigger. And the multiply size, we're going to keep this here just to give us a little variance in our size. Let's also change the color. So I'm going to create another property. Let's search gradient, and I'll call this fog particle gradient. Drag it into the VFX graph. Let's attach it to where it says multiply color over life. Let's click on the value, and I have this gradient here, which is actually pretty close to what I want, but I'll walk you through what I want to do. I'm going to delete this second white tag at the top here because we don't need that. I'm going to select this middle one. Let's put this at 50%. Whoops, 50%, not 60%. Let's put the alpha down to something low. About 25 is good. And then the far left and the far right one should both be at 0. So this one's at 0. That one's also at 0. And then for the color, I think that's fine for now. So this is a white color. Let's make it just slightly grayer. And then for the second one, we'll make it a little more gray. Let's X out of that. And yeah, you can see we have a little smoke going on there. Now we obviously need to fill this out more. So let's scroll up to the top. I'm going to create a new float. Let's call this fog thickness and drag that into our graph. Attach it to the constant spawn rate. And now nothing is spawning because that is set at 0. So let's fix that. And I'm going to set this to a really high number. Let's put it at 1000 for now. And you can see it's kind of stuttering. It's like puffing and puffing. That is because our capacity is too low. So in the initialize particle, let's just set this to a really high number. Don't worry about it being high because the VFX graph is meant to deal with high amounts of particles. So it's not going to kill your performance or anything. Cool, well that's looking a bit thicker. Let's scroll out a bit. I'm going to change the base size. We put it at 1. Let's put it at 20 for now. That looks good. Okay, and the next thing we want to do is we want to get this to spawn over a larger area. Obviously, this is way too small. It's just kind of a cloud basically. So in the initialize particle, select this node here, set position shape, change the shape to oriented box, and then change the position mode from surface to volume. And this needs to be a lot bigger. Let's create another exposed property for this. So I'm going to hit plus on our Blackboard properties. Then I'm going to search for vector 3, and we'll call this fog coverage. Let's open that up. And I'm going to make this pretty big, so it's going to be 100. We'll give it a Y of 50, and then we'll put the Z at 100. So X and Z are both at 100, and then the Y is half of that. So let's drag that into the graph, attach it to the size. And yeah, this is already looking way better. You can see it's all spread out now. Sweet. The next thing I want to do is I want to give this a little more variance. So at the bottom of the initialized particle, press space, search for set angular velocity. And with this selected, on the right under the inspector, change random to per component. And then on the Z, change the first one to -90 and change the second one to 90. So that'll just give each particle a bit of random spin. Now let's add some randomness to this speed as well. So I'm going to add another property. It's going to be a float. And we'll call this fog move speed. Drag it into the graph and then open it up. I'm going to set it to 1.2 for now. And then we'll attach it to the max speed. Select the socket, click and drag that, search for multiply. And I'm going to multiply it by -1. Double click to close it, and then attach that to the min speed. So we get a nice range of speed here, and let's also change the direction. I think I'll do one on the Y and one on the Z. Okay, that's not looking too bad. Then for the lifetime, I don't think I'll make this an exposed property, but I will change it to be between 2 and 3. Okay, that looks pretty good. Then we also have these two nodes, gravity and linear drag, which are from the template. We don't need these for the fog, so just delete both of them. Cool. So that fog is going a bit higher now because it's not being pulled down by gravity. I guess gravity might not be too bad if you want it to be like, like clouds kind of coming down on the surface. Anyways, I think this is looking pretty good. Let's go down a bit. I'm also going to select use soft particle. This probably won't make a noticeable difference, but what it does is it just kind of reduces the hard edge of the clipping when particles touch a surface. And then I'm going to get rid of these spaces in my naming here because I like things to be consistent. Let's save this. And then I'm going to drag this over here so we have a bigger scene window. And then let's click on fog in the hierarchy. And we can edit these properties. So I think the alpha is too high still, so I'm going to go to the gradient. And then let's just lower this. I'm going to put this at something really low. We're going to put it at like 11, I think is good. Although, of course, change it to your liking. That was why we exposed these properties, because it makes it easy to change. And then I'm going to increase the move speed, I think, just a bit. I'm going to make the coverage a bit higher, so we'll actually put this at about 80 on the Y. Then let's up the thickness too. I'm going to put this at 1500, see how that looks. Yeah, sweet. So I'm pretty happy with how that looks. And that is how you make fog using Unity VFX Graph.